Alright guys, in this video I'm going to be showing you how to do load balancing on your UNIFI NVR. So if you have 2 or more ports, you're going to be able to load balance your cameras. So let's get into this video. Alright guys, so if your NVR has 2 or more ports, you can intermix the SFP or the RJ45, SFP Plus I should say, or RJ45 ports to give yourself more bandwidth to handle more cameras. If your switch doesn't support 10 gig, or if it does and you just want even more bandwidth for even more cameras and you're just crazy man crazy, but this is definitely gonna help you out in the long run. So basically what we're gonna do is, if you have 1 port and you're about to saturate, let's say your switch only has 1 gig ports, but the backplane can handle all those ports handling 1 gig off them, and you have only your RJ45 or SFP Plus on your NVR running at 1 gig because you don't have a 10 gig switch, and you're saturating that for your camera bandwidth and you're about to run out or you're getting close. Well, guess what? You can use that extra port on there to free up some bandwidth and have another port to have a whole bunch of more cameras on it. So it's pretty freaking cool. So first thing we're going to do, as you can see, I have a VLAN, camera VLAN 1, and I made another one, camera VLAN 2. Look, camera VLAN 2 is 31, camera VLAN 1 is 30. Go in here. I'm going to make sure that I have auto scale off. And we're gonna, on the camera VLAN 2, we're gonna wanna make sure that we have allow internet access off. I just wanna make sure we don't want any network loops, and we're cutting off any way to have network loops. So turn off allow internet access on this VLAN for the second VLAN of your cameras. Don't worry, your NVR is so freaking cool because the camera VLAN 1 that the NVR is on will be able to still get updates from the internet, and it updates all the cameras that are connected to its ports on the NVR, whether they're on a different VLAN or not. So even if one VLAN doesn't have internet access, at least one has. The NVR does all the updating, so you're fine. So once we've done that, the thing that we're going to want to do next is go to our security zones. This is on zone based. You can do it on the non-zone based too. Just make sure that there's no rules blocking each other. And in the NVR, the camera has their own zone right here for the NVRs and stuff, and the cameras, it's just called cameras, and this is its own zone. So as you can see, both of them are here. There's no rules blocking them because they're going to the same thing. We don't care if they talk. Cameras is cameras. The only reason we're splitting them up is just so we can use the other port without network loops. That's the only reason. So put them there. We're rocking and rolling. Next thing we're going to want to do too, make sure you set your don't plug in the other port yet. We want to make sure that there's only the 1 cable going in your NVR to your router or your switch. Just make sure there's only 1 in now. We're not finished and we don't want a network loop. So once this is done here, we're going to go to our RJ45. Let's go to our switch, or you can just click here and click your switches too. Click our 48 PoE switch. We'll go to port manager. Now you're also going to want to make sure, whichever port, this is my default one, just click on your NVR, go to settings, set a static IP address for it. Mine for this one is 30.85. When I tell you, don't do it yet, whenever you plug in the second port, and you have both running on the NVR, you'll want to do this too to the other VLAN 2 and just set that NVR, have a static IP address, because we are going to set these static later in the NVR itself, so you want them to match the same. So just keep them the same. You want both the router and the NVR both to have static IP addresses for the ports. Obviously they have to be the same, otherwise you're going to have a conflict. So just make them as in this port is this VLAN ID for this NVR that's on this VLAN is 30.85. So when I do this port where this one right here is plugged into this port. On the SFP on the NVR, I have to make sure, because this is the SFP the NVR is plugged into, has the same IP, static IP is that. So, okay. We'll click this. This is our main one. See, allow trunk port is allow all. That's fine. This is the main, our default port. This is awesome. If your RJ45 is your default port, that's awesome too. Just make sure your camera VLAN is camera VLAN 1 and everything else should be the same. The only one you got to worry about is your second port. And my second port is an RJ45 port. So with the RJ45 port, I want this to be block all. I only want it to go to camera VLAN 2. I want it to block all, help stop network loops, just block all. We want to make sure it's block all. Scroll down and hit apply, and Bob's your uncle. Now, as you can see here, I have these split up on my switch. So 1 through 19 are all on camera VLAN 1. 2 to 12 is all in camera VLAN 1. 14 to 30 is camera VLAN 2, and 21 through 29 is camera VLAN 2. So it's splitting it up. So basically camera VLAN 1 goes to SFP+, camera VLAN 2 goes to the RJ45. And the cool thing is, even if let's say I've unplugged any of these devices that are camera VLAN 1 and put them to camera VLAN 2, just unplug them, put them in, they're gonna show up right there too. Even if they had static IP addresses, they're in different VLANs, and on this VLAN it wouldn't have a static IP address, so it would just work. But either way, the NVR is gonna detect them and just play, like plug and play. It doesn't matter which VLAN they're in. All that matters is that they're going to the same NVR, so that's what's freaking awesome. So now there's load balancing on it. So this camera can, now I have basically kind of like a 2 gigabit worth of bandwidth to go to the NVR now with this. So I can have more cameras on this, because all these ports, every one of these is all only 1 gig, but the backplane can handle way more. I forget how much this handles, like 100 and something gigabits or something like that it can handle, the backplane. So it can handle all these RJ45 ports running all at 1 gig and those SFP pluses. But the NVR can only handle so much going over 1 port. So if I have 2 ports sending the data traffic, I can definitely increase my camera consumption without them causing traffic jams and hiccups and lag if it was just trying to go through that one gig port. So this is freaking awesome. Next, what we're gonna wanna do is, we got to go to the NVR. So let's go to the NVR. All right, so now that we're in the NVR, we're gonna wanna go to the console, scroll down, default automatically hides the RJ45. We'll make sure we're selecting that, whatever is your main. My main is, remember, SFP+. SFP, SFP+, but it says SFP, but it is SFP+. Remember that SFP+ connections can go, can take DAC cables of SFP and SFP+. But remember, SFP connections only can take SFP cables. They can't take SFP+ cables. I have an SFP cable plugged into the SFP+ port of the NVR Pro right here. So it's running at 1 gig only, not 10 gig. This isn't mine, but this is somebody else's, so I'm just giving you the rundown what we did so they can increase their bandwidth of cameras, because they're going to be adding way more cameras. So IP configuration, we're going to want it static. Auto negotiate, that's fine. IP address, see the 3085, that's that what I said. You want to make sure that you set the static IP address. And just to show you, if we go back to our devices, the NVR, we'll go back to the switch port so I can show you. This NVR is 30.85, same as the other one that we were just at. So that is why we want these ports to be the same, 30.85. Want to make sure they're the same, and we'll do this the same. You'll want to do the same on the 1 gig port, on the RJ45 or your second port too. But as you can see, all this subnet mask, default gateway, and the primary DNS, which is the router's DNS. So that's why the router's default gateway's IP address is in there. So use it. The only difference is for the second port. And remember, this is my second one. So how you do it, just switch it around depending on which is your first and which is your second. But I'm using this as the RJ45 as my second port, as in camera VLAN 2 basically. So this one's all the same, except primary DNS 0. I want to make sure it doesn't go out to the internet, even though I set that VLAN not to have internet access. Just do it on this too. Let's just make sure. And then guess what? You're ready to connect the cable. And then once you connect the cable, you will go find, as you can see here, this is in the third one, 85. I kind of made it the same, except this is 31 instead of the main one is 30. This is 31, just like the VLAN. So I set this as a static for this, and now you're gonna go set this one static. Once it detects in your system, you go back to your network, find this device, whether it's in your unified devices or it's in your plugged-in devices. It'll come up in one of those. Set it as a static too, and guess what? You're rocking and rolling. You've got more stuff. Hey, if you guys like these videos too, like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell notification. I make these videos to help you guys out, and it tells me you guys like them. So yeah, I hope this helped you. I hope you and your family are having a rock and rolling day. Peace out, and I'll catch you in the new video. Thank you.